Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about next topic, that is spore fruits in fungi. Spore fruit is nothing but the structure of fungi in which the different spores are present. So the spore fruit, it having two types, asexual spore fruit and sexual spore fruit. First we discuss about the asexual spore fruit, that is called as an sporangium. Okay, so sporangium means what? It is a sporangium is nothing but this sac-like structure which is present at the end of sporangiophore. Here this is an sporangium. At the end of sporangiophore, the sac-like structure is present. Is called as an sporangium, in which number of spores are present. Okay, so what happens during the development of the spores, or whatever the spores which is present inside the sporangium is called as an spores. During the development of spores, the spores, whatever the inside that sporangium, a knob like structure is present, and that knob like structure is called as an columella. So that columella exert the pressure over the spores or sporangiospores which is present inside the sac like structure, and that spores exert the pressure over the that spores exert the pressure over the sac-like structure or over the wall of sporangium. Due to that, wall of sporangium is burst or break down, and the spores is released or blown away. So this is about the sporangium. That sporangium is the presence of sporangium is characteristic of the fungi belongings to the subdivision Mastigomycotina and Zygomycotina. Okay, the next, after the when the spore is blown away, so there are two types of the spores are produced. First one is zoospores, which is called as an motile spores, which is present in the subdivision called as an mastigomycotina, and another one is non-motile spore called as an aplanospore, which is the characteristics of zygomycotina. Okay, next one is the cinemata. So what is meant by cinemata? Here the cinemata, the structure of cinemata, second asexual spore fruit. So cinemata means what? The hypa which form conidiophores and erect conidiophores and grouped together to form corymia. That means they are hypa that are comes in contact with each other and to form the conidiophores, and on that conidiophores, which that conidiophores sometimes they are covered with the epidermis, and that erect conidiophores that are grouped together to form corymia, and each corymia consists of sterile stalk terminating into fertile hyphae bearing the conidia. That means that conidiophores which bears the conidia, here the conidial structure is present. So that structure is called as an cinemata or coremium. Then third one is the pycnidium. Here the pycnidium, the structure of pycnidium is given. So pycnidium means what? Here the spherical or oval shaped structure or the sometimes flask shaped spore fruit, which with the short conidiophores lining inner side, that inside that the short conidiophore is present which bears the conidia, is called as the pycnidiospores. This spore fruit having the opening or the small opening is present, that small opening is called as an ostiole. When that conidiophore become mature, so through that ostiole that spore is blown away. So this is called as the pycnidium. Then next one is acerulus. Here the structure of acerulus. It is a compact mass of hyphae. It is the compact mass of hyphae giving rise to the short simple hyaline conidiophores that are closely packed together to form a cushion like mass with the or without CT. It is known as the modified open sorus. So that acerulus which is present mostly in Coleotrichum and Gliosporum fungus. Sometimes that acerulus is formed inside the host epidermis, and through by breaking the epidermis or host epidermis, what happens that spores is released. So this is called as in the acerulus. Next one, it is called as in the sporodochium. So what is meant by the sporodochium? Here In case of that sporodochium, it is a characteristic feature of the fusarium. A sporodochium means a spore fruit having cushion-shaped stroma. Here, the spore fruit, number of spores arises. The spore shoot which having the cushion-shaped stroma with conidiophores is known as ponidio or is known as an sporodochium. So again, we discuss the definition. A spore fruit having cushion-shaped stroma. So stroma means the compact mass of hyphae. The compact mass of hyphae is aggregate together. So spore fruit having cushion-shaped stroma covered with the conidiophores. It is covered with the conidiophores. Then it is called as an the sporodochium. And that sporodochium, or that it having the macroconidia or microconidia. Mostly macroconidia is present here. So this is the characteristics of the fungus fusarium. Next, the sporodochium, here it is given. Okay, the structure of this sporodochium, here the conidiophore is arises. Okay, here this stroma is compact mass of hyphae that are aggregate together here. Okay, conidiophore is arises, and on that conidiophore, conidia is bears. When at the maturity, that conidia is released. Then acerulus. So acerulus means what? It is a compact. It is compact mass of hyphae giving rise short simple hyaline conidiophores that are closely form the cushion-like mass with or without CT. So this is called as an acerulus that we already discussed in previous pycnidium that we already discussed. Acium. So acium is nothing but it is an inverted cup shaped structure. It is an the inverted cup shaped structure or bell shaped structure usually formed on the lower surface of the leaf. Okay, which producing the orange colored spores which is formed in basipetal manner is called as an aciospore. So that cup shaped structure or bell shaped structure which is found in rust fungi. Okay, then regarding sexual fruiting body, first sexual fruiting body is called as an cleistothecium. So cleistothecium is a completely closed fruiting body. They do not having any kind of opening or osteoles. That closed structure which having double layer wall which containing the different types of the ascospores which is scattered all over the body. When that ascospores, when it becomes mature, so by wear and tear action, that wall of that cleistothecium is completely break down. Okay, and that spore is released away. So that cleistothecium is a characteristic feature of powdery mildew. Okay, or irisifi fungus. Then next one is the perithecium. Perithecium, it is a flask shaped structure with narrow opening, which is that opening is called as an ostiole through which the asci is released. Then the sterile structure is present in between that asci is called as an paraphysis. So perithecium is a characteristic feature of claviceps. Next one, the apothecium. So apothecium, it is a cup shaped structure or the soccer shaped structure or fruit with the broad opening is known as an apothecium, which having the broad opening is called as an apothecium. The asci is arranged in palisade layer is called as an the hymeneum layer. It is called as an hymeneum layer. So apothecium, here this sclerotia is the fungus where that in which sclerotia is an example of that apothecium. Then loculoascomycete, that is pseudothecium. So pseudothecium means what? Here again it is a cup-like structure which is present, and there is a small opening called as an ostiole. Next one, puff wall. Here another perithecium. Here number of structure is given. Then the puff wall which is present, which is that is puff wall, bracket fungi and mushroom which is comes under the sexual fruiting body in basidiocarp. So puff walls is nothing but the it is round spherical shaped basidiocarp which is occurred on dead organic matter. Then bracket fungi, it observed on the dead tree trunk, and mushroom which is commonly occurred in manure pits and dung heaps. So this is the parts of that basidiocarp. Okay, and whatever the cleistothecium, apothecium, Then perithecium and ascostroma, these are the part of the ascocarp. Okay, so this is about the sexual fruiting body. If you have any difficulty regarding that sexual or sexual fruiting or the spore fruit of fungi, so you can ask me.